Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Dude, you need to sit down. Seriously, grab a drink, grab some snacks, put your phone on silent because I am about to spill the entire ocean of tea regarding what went down with her. You know how messed up I was yesterday, right? After she dropped that bomb about our mutual friend, that joke about how he should have been the one dating her instead of me. Yeah, well, I didn't just let that slide. I couldn't. It was eating me alive. So yesterday, we finally had the talk. And I'm not talking about a quick, hey, that wasn't cool, 5-minute chat. No, bro, we talked for hours. It was like an emotional marathon. I feel like I have an emotional hangover today. My brain is absolute mush. But you need to hear this because the rabbit hole goes so much deeper than I thought. It went from stupid, hurtful joke to childhood trauma and psychological warfare real quick. I told her point blank that we couldn't just brush past this. I said, look, I felt like there were things left unsaid, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm okay when I'm not. The vibe in the room was so heavy you could have cut it with a knife. She looked terrified, honestly, so I ripped the band-aid off. I asked her, why would you say that? Why would you compare me to him, to my face in front of him? And her answer, man, hold onto your seat. She looked me in the eyes and fully admitted that she did it on purpose. It wasn't a slip of the tongue. It wasn't a harmless joke that landed wrong. She said she wanted to make me jealous. Can you believe that? She literally engineered a scenario to trigger me. She wanted me to snap. She wanted the fight because, in her head, fighting for her equals loving her. I just stared at her. I was like, are you kidding me? That is manipulation 101. I called her out on it immediately. I told her, that is incredibly messed up behavior. You don't hurt your partner just to see if they bleed. It was a huge red flag waving right in my face, and I didn't hold back. I let her know exactly how toxic that mindset is, and that's when the floodgates opened. I mean, she broke down. This is where it gets heavy and honestly a little heartbreaking, even though I was still pissed. We started digging into why she needs that kind of reaction. Why does she need to provoke me to feel secure? She started telling me about her past, and dude, I knew she had some baggage, we all do, but I had no idea the suitcase was this big. She started talking about her parents. Apparently she has these deep-seated abandonment issues. She went into detail about feeling ignored, feeling unloved, feeling like she was always the last priority in her own house growing up. Then she starts listing off her exes and how they treated her, ignoring her, leaving her alone, making her feel like she didn't exist unless she was screaming for attention. It was intense. She explained that she literally doesn't know how to cope with a normal, stable dynamic. When things are calm, she panics because she thinks calm means he doesn't care. So sometimes she gets super clingy, which I've noticed, obviously, but other times when the clinginess doesn't work or she feels too vulnerable, she pulls stunts like this. She creates chaos just to feel seen. She sabotages the peace just to make sure I'm still invested enough to get angry. She was crying, telling me she hates that she does it. She said she realizes now how twisted it is, but in the moment, it feels like a survival instinct. It was a lot to take in. I was sitting there, furious about the joke, but also looking at this girl who is clearly hurting and just has no tools to deal with it. But I couldn't let the other shoe drop without checking it. I needed to know about the friend. Because let's be real, even if it was a ploy for jealousy, there's always a grain of truth, right? So I asked her, I looked her dead in the eye and asked, what is the deal with him? Be honest, is there something there? And this is where I actually felt a little relief. She didn't dodge it. She told me, yes, he is an attractive guy. But then she explained that while he's good looking, she felt absolutely zero spark beyond the gym stuff. She told me, we have nothing in common. Other than lifting weights, we don't click. She even pointed out that she's had plenty of chances to make a move on him and never did because she never wanted to. Then man, the tables turned a bit. Because after hearing her pour her heart out about her trauma, I couldn't just sit there like a stone statue. So I opened up. I told her about my past relationships where I was manipulated or cheated on. I told her, I'm not just angry because of the joke. I'm angry because I have scars too. When you say stuff like that, you're pressing on a bruise that hasn't fully healed from years ago. I explained that I'm sensitive to this stuff. I don't want to play games. I want peace. And when she tries to manipulate me, it doesn't make me want to fight for her. It makes me want to run for the hills. It was a moment. I think it was the first time we really, truly saw each other's damage. But here is the kicker. And here is the kicker, the part that makes me think maybe, just maybe, this isn't a total wash. She immediately agreed to therapy. She didn't just say, oh, I'll work on it. No, she had already been looking into it on her own before we even had the big talk. She literally pulled out her phone and showed me resumes of therapists she was considering. She asked for my opinion on them. She was like, I need to fix this. I need to fix me immediately. She offered to give me space while she starts her sessions. She said she's going to actively try to control the clinginess and the attention-seeking behavior so I can have time to process everything and decide if I even want to stay. She put the ball completely in my court. So now I'm sitting here kind of dazed. On one hand, what happened was bad, like really bad. It's so early in the relationship to be dealing with this level of psychological drama. But on the other hand, is there a silver lining here? Think about it. How many people actually admit to their toxic traits, explain the root cause, apologize without making excuses, and then immediately book a therapy appointment? Most girls would have just gaslit me and said, you're crazy, it was just a joke, get over it. She didn't do that, she owned it. We cleared up the friend dynamic, we both exposed our past traumas, and we established that the way she tried to get love was actually pushing me away. It feels like we fast-forwarded through 6 months of relationship growth in 6 hours. I don't know, man. Does this sound reasonable? Am I being an idiot for thinking this could actually make us stronger? I feel like I walked through a fire, but at least now I know exactly who I'm dealing with and she's willing to do the work. It's a lot to process, but knowing she wants me, not the friend, and knowing she's terrified of losing me because of her own issues, it changes things. Is the tea too hot, or is there actually a drinkable relationship left in this cup?